Hey, in this video, I'm going to show you how to write your welcome email for your publication. Now, when somebody signs up for your registration page, we want an email to go out immediately. And I'm going to talk to you about the reasons why. And this is something a lot of people don't realize. We've made it very, very easy inside of our software. Now, I also want to mention that if you have multiple publications, you'll probably get to the level where you will have multiple publications. You want to have a welcome email for each and every one of the publications. And like I said, software is going to handle everything for you. So I can't emphasize how important it is to do this step. And here's the reason why. There are basically two giants in the world when it comes to email, right? That's Apple Mail and that's Gmail. Okay, then we have like Yahoo, and there's some other ones out there, Outlook and Hotmail and all that. But Gmail and Apple are like the two big guys. Okay, especially the one that's a stickler to deal with is Gmail. All right, so now the way that Gmail determines if you're going to land in the inbox. First of all, we got to make sure that our DNS records are set up. Okay. I'm not going to get into that right now. It's not about DNS records. I've got another little mini course, which we'll talk about in a minute, that walks you through the DNS stuff, and that way you go to the inbox, okay? But let's make sure our DNS records are set up. All right. But then also, it's going to monitor your email, all right? And what Gmail is looking for is, number one, is looking for opens. It's looking at your opens. Number two, it's looking at your clicks. And number three, it's looking at your replies. Now, we can also put stuff in there about bounces and unsubscribes and all that other stuff, but these three metrics right here are what we really, really care about, right? We want to have high opens, high CTR, high click-through ratio, and we want to have people actually replying. Nobody gets replies anymore. So the thing is, you don't have to have a lot of replies, all right? But if you think about it in the eyes of Gmail, when you send out a newsletter, when you send out an email and somebody replies to it, they see that as a real interaction. So you get brownie points with it, okay? So we definitely want to have a lot of opens, a lot of clicks, and a lot of replies. And so what that requires is engagement. Now, there's three ways that I can think of that we're able to do this, okay? At least when it comes to the newsletter. So number one, we want to ask a lot of questions in the newsletter. So I've seen a lot of newsletters where they say, here's the picture of the week. Go ahead and reply to this email and submit your picture, right? Because if you think about it, your newsletter goes out to people, and then people have the ability to hit reply, okay? And you want it to be on the same domain, all right? So if you can do that, then Google's watching that. Gmail is watching those things, is watching to see how many people hit reply. How many people are replying to your email? Your newsletter is just an email, folks. That's all it is, okay? So ask a lot of questions in your newsletter. Number two, we have something called the peer syndicate. I'll talk about that. This is our peer network where everybody helps everybody. Because remember, they're looking at opens, they're looking at clicks, and they're also looking at replies, okay? So we created the syndicate to be able to help you with that. But number three, let's make sure that we have a welcome email going out, okay? Now, in addition to this helping with Gmail, it also helps inside of our system because our goal is to get everybody to the green. Remember what I showed you earlier that, you have your GC and you have your Letterman where it shows you everybody that's active? Well, here's one of the ways to do it. When somebody replies back, they are now active in your system. They are now green. And let me show you what it looks like. All right, so this screen here, remember this in the first video? Here's what you need to know. Active equals green. See the green over here? This is active, all right? And then we have inactive, passive, new, undeliverable. Not much we can do with this. And then we have dead. You're going to spend your whole entire journey keeping everybody in the green, right? We're either going to get people back in the green or they're going to unsubscribe, all right? And our systems are awesome. We know how to do all this stuff. You'll learn this. We don't need to cover this right now. All you need to know right now is active equals green. So how do we take your subscribers and get them green where we get to treat them differently? Well, we get them to either open, click, or reply to our email, and then they go to green. Does that make sense? It is so awesome, okay? So when somebody opens, clicks, or replies to your welcome email, they go to green. It is just unbelievable what we set up. So now that you understand that, let's take a look at the welcome email because it's pretty straightforward. But I do have some pointers for you because we set up a lot of these. We split tested a lot of these. All right, so I'm going to show you exactly where you're going to set this up. And it's going to take place, per publications under the 3 dots, if you didn't guess that already. And you can see over here that this is the actual email. So you have a subject line, you have a pre-header, and then you have the actual body. I'll show you this here in a second. But here's some notes. All right, first of all, I think it's very, very professional to put your logo right here in the middle, center it, put it right here, put a little bit of space. Okay, next, see where it says click here to check out our latest issue. Remember what I told you, /current/latest will always show your most recent newsletter. Booyah, there you go. That is the perfect example of where you're going to use that. All right, next, highlight the value of your newsletter, right? We'll take a look at this, but just talk about it. Hey, we're going to feature the new restaurants and businesses opening, and we're going to have the picture of the week, like whatever it is you do, like go through and reinforce, right? Reinforce why they want to check out your newsletter, okay? And then finally, this is a big one. We're going to ask some questions. How long have you lived in the area? What do you love about the area, right? Click reply. Like we're actually going to tell them click reply. I'm going to show you that here in just a second. You can take my same exact email if you want, plug it into ChatGPT, say, here's the name of my publication. It'll write it all for you, right? Very, very simple, okay? So once you have your newsletter all set up, then what's going to happen is you're going to send it out with your SMTP, right? So if you see here on the screen, this is our smtp.com all set up, all right? And if you don't know about SMTP, guess what? I have good news for you, because what if I told you I went out there and created the SMT Quick Start Guide? It's a simple little mini series just like this one where it's going to walk you through getting your SMTP account, getting all set up, setting up your DNS so that you go straight to the inbox. You're going to learn how to set up your Google Postmaster tools and your Yahoo feedback loop and all kinds of awesome stuff inside of this training. Okay, so if you haven't set up your SMTP yet, don't worry about it. It's right here in your members area. But for right now, let's go set up your welcome email, because we can do that even if we don't have SMTP set up. All right, so once again, I'm over here inside the publication area. I'm going to look for the publication that I'm going to set up. I'm going to come over here to the 3 dots, and I'm going to scroll down to where it says welcome email. And here you go. Here's that welcome email that I just showed you. I'm going to open it up as much as I can. We're going to take a look at this. So the subject is welcome to West Valley Shoutouts. Pretty straightforward, right? Pre-header, you just joined the loudest and proudest local crew in the West Valley. All right, good. We got the logo here right in the middle. And what you can do is you can just open it up in another window and like drag it in, right? Or you can do the image over here, but I like to just drag things in and then, resize it however you want. And then make sure that you center this logo. Okay, so that looks good like that. And then let's look at this email because it's pretty straightforward. Hey there, we're so glad you made it. I probably have a space here. I like to space things out, right? West Valley Shoutouts is your backstage pass to everything happening in and around the West Valley, from neighborhood gyms and weekend events to local wins and shoutouts that deserve the spotlight. Click here to check out our latest newsletter. And so if I highlight this and if I show you, there you go, westvalleyshoutouts.com/current. So let's go ahead and open this up. And what happens? There's our current newsletter. Pretty cool, right? So click here to check out our latest newsletter. Each week we'll land in your inbox with a short and snappy roundup of the good stuff. Local events that deserve a mic drop. Events, markets, and happenings you won't want to miss. Local news with zero fluff. Hidden gems and small business love. All right, so there's your features and your highlights. So whether you're here for the insider tips, the community vibes, or just keep your finger on the local pulse, you're in the right place. First things first, here it is, folks. Hit reply and tell us your favorite local spot, person, or small business. That's where we are encouraging people to mail back. You might just see it featured in a future shout out. Talk soon, the West Valley Shoutouts team. You can put your name down there, whatever you want to do. It doesn't really matter. Very, very simple email. Nothing real complicated. You'll go ahead and click update. You'll turn on this switch to live. And then this right here is your SMTP setup. And remember, we're going to do all of that inside that little bonus micro training. Okay? So now hopefully you're excited. You understand exactly how and why and the exact copy. Like I said, feel free to respin it if you want to and with ChatGPT. But that's your welcome email. And so if we come back over here to publications, I just want to show you each and every one of these would have a different welcome email. All right? I'll see you in the next video.